Brexit. Britain has been taken for mugs from the very start of negotiations with the European Union, a former British diplomat has claimed, as he questioned the legality of the Benn Act, aimed at halting a no-deal exit. Last week Boris Johnson outlined his Brexit blueprint to the European Union in a bid of securing an agreement with the bloc before the 31st of October deadline. But, a former British diplomat has claimed the UK has been taken for mugs from the very start of negotiations with the European Union. Sir Peter Marshall, an expert on multilateral diplomacy, also questioned the legality of the Benn Act, after the Supreme Court ruled against the Prime Minister's decision to prorogue Parliament last month. Speaking to Daily Express, Sir Peter said, "The realization is dawning that from the start the UK have allowed themselves to be taken for mugs. That is surely the main reason for the countrywide frustration we now see." Commenting on the sequencing of Brexit negotiations with the European Union, Sir Peter said our EU partners have played us false from the start, by insisting the guidelines they adopted on the 29th of April, 2017, should be the sole basis on which the negotiations for our withdrawal should be conducted. He added, "These guidelines contravene intentionally the provisions of Article 52, when they state, we must proceed according to a phased approach, giving priority to an orderly withdrawal." This wording makes clear the EU intention to defy the fundamental requirement in Article 52, to take account of the framework for our future relationship when negotiating and concluding with us an agreement setting out the arrangements for our withdrawal. EU refusal to do this has been the direct cause of the backstop, when Brexit Secretary David Davis, under Theresa May's leadership, agreed to the sequencing of negotiations with the European Union. But, Sir Peter believed the sequencing of the negotiations between the UK and the EU from the start have been conducted in an unjust manner. The illegality of the guidelines is inevitably reflected in any documentation which issues from them, he added. The former diplomat also questioned the legality of the Benn Act, passed by MPs in the House of Commons, and aimed at halting a no-deal Brexit. Sir Peter claimed, that also applies to the appalling Benn Act, the shabbiest document in the annals of UK foreign policy. It would not stand up in a court of law for a moment. Boris Johnson must disregard it. The Prime Minister's advisor Dominic Cummings has previously hinted at loopholes within the Benn Act, aimed at halting a no-deal Brexit. But, last week, the Prime Minister announced his new Brexit proposal to the British public and European Union, as he tries to secure a deal with the EU before the 31st of October deadline. The Prime Minister said his plan had 5 elements which consisted of a commitment to a solution compatible with the Good Friday Agreement, confirmation of support for long-standing areas of UK, Ireland collaboration including the Common Travel Area and North-South cooperation, the potential creation of an all-Ireland regulatory zone covering all goods including agri-food, the consent of those affected by that all-Ireland zone with the Northern Ireland Executive and Assembly given the chance to endorse the plan before it comes into effect, and then every 4 years, Northern Ireland will be fully part of the UK customs territory and outside the EU's customs union. And, Mr Johnson appealed to MPs in a House of Commons statement on Thursday, saying he had made a genuine attempt to bridge the chasm with Brussels, in a compromise on his departure desires. He told the Commons, "This government's objective has always been to leave with a deal, and these constructive and reasonable proposals show our seriousness of purpose. They do not deliver everything that we would have wished. They do represent a compromise, but to remain a prisoner of existing positions is to become a cause of deadlock rather than breakthrough. So we have made a genuine attempt to bridge the chasm, to reconcile the apparently irreconcilable and to go the extra mile as time runs short." But, despite early encouraging signs being mooted from the continent, the Prime Minister was hit with a huge blow on Thursday afternoon after the Irish government snubbed the plans. Irish Premier Leo Varadkar said the Brexit plan falls short in a number of aspects, while Deputy Prime Minister Simon Coveney said if that is the final proposal, there will be no deal.